Hello and welcome to some Satisfactory. My name is Trismegistus and I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do today. The aim of this stream is to play through the game, but as much as you can at the moment because it's still early access and there's still the end game missing. But I wasn't quite sure what to do. I didn't really, well, I was going to say I didn't get the chance. That's not quite true. I didn't do any more. Hello, Johnny Mentos. How are you doing? You having a good Friday? Welcome back. I wasn't quite. I didn't do anything with the roads. I did have a think about it though, and I think I might have come up with a way I want to, do this down here. I did actually want to turn them off, and I think what we'll actually do is head over to the desert. Where the heck are the trucks? Have they run out of fuel? And sort of mess about with the factory over, not the desert, head over to the grassland. Any sign of any tricks? I can't see them going around on the track anywhere. Oh no, that's my truck. Any signs of any trucks? Oh. Okay. Has it run out of fuel? Yeah, it's run out of fuel. Okay, that's fine then. Oh. Okay. I'm interested to know what the other ones do then. Unless they've all run out of fuel as well. You might be able to see, because they... Oh, yeah. No, there's one there that's run out of fuel. In fact, does it show the vehicles anyway? Because that's a tractor. That's a truck. Didn't I have 3 going round? Or did I stop one? Because there's one there that's run out of fuel. And one there that's run out of fuel. I mean, they only had a little bit. You know, they didn't have a lot. So it's not surprising. I thought I had 3 running around. Anyway, doesn't matter. They have stopped. But I was going to do... Right. Fell off the platform. What I was thinking as a partial solution, a better way of doing it, is essentially to have these lined up. So I'll just sort of fake it, because I'll have to take all this apart anyway. Do I want to get rid of that one? Let's just leave it for the time being. So instead of having them all around the sort of central, pillar, what I'm now thinking is if I have them... Transportation truck station, there we go. I'm not going to have room for this. But basically, if I have them lined up like this, almost like a Factorio train, train yard, that sort of lots of them in a row. So effectively, we have one there. It won't let me build this, I don't think, because it's too big. Oh no, let me put that one in. But yeah, so effectively a whole load of them. They'd probably need to be a bit further over because it's actually quite a narrow gap for the trucks. But essentially lined up like that. So we could have, sort of... I mean, because this is enormous. So I could just have loads and loads of them. Even like one per truck or something like that. But it will get around the issue of having to go around... Oh! You appear to be walking through my factory, young man. That's not very convenient. Get around this issue of the trucks like crashing into each other, because then they'll be on different, paths going through here. And also all the paths will be the same. So every truck then will be sort of coming from this direction. And then either turning, so the ones here will come in, drop off their stuff, and go straight down here. Other way around, isn't it? Sorry. The ones from there will come in here. The ones from over there will come around here. And I could do the other one so that they do the same path. So this third one that I want to build is probably going to start and end. Well, actually, I kind of need to move all this over if I'm going to have them all like lined up. New rules and challenges, yes. So there's a challenge showing, is there, as well? Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of work on them. I need to do icons for them and stuff, but didn't manage to do that yet. You should be able to redeem first. Since you could redeem second as well, I guess. Technically. I wonder if I can make them exclusive. Well, the window is called rewards. Oh, I see. Okay, but you can. The challenge is I can actually create a challenge. But I was trying to think. There you go. Congratulations on the first. I think technically you could do second as well. I don't know if there's a way of me making that exclusive, because it'd be a bit weird you doing second as well. But yeah, so that was my thought basically. So instead of them all being, like round a circle, it also makes it a bit more expandable and a bit more flexible. As I say, we could just have a whole row of them, boop, 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 like that, and then they should be able to drive in a bit better. Oh, you did resume second as well. Okay. And congratulations on second. But yeah, so that was my plan. But I don't think we're going to work on trucks today. I got a bit bored of it last time. I could, because obviously I could make the other track. It's only a small one though. It's sort of just going around, that sort of area. So it's quite small, and it might end up basically just being a square. It just goes sort of down that way, across that way, and not, so it's basically just a square. So I can hoover up these bits, because the current track at the moment. Oh, there's another truck. Oh, of course, I sent one round the other route, didn't I? Yeah, but that one only goes sort of round there, so I need to get access to these. But as you can see, it's basically a sort of a square track. So I'll do that. But yeah, so what I thought we'd do instead is head over to the thing. I don't know if there's a way of me making it exclusive. You just have to refrain yourself from being both first and second, I think. But yeah, there should be a few other things in there. I'd be interested to know how many points you actually have, because I know you've watched a few streams. It's difficult to judge what cost to put things at, because I can put certain limits on usage. So like that first one and second one, no one else can redeem that. Now it's set to 1 per stream, and I can do things like that, but judging how much to price things at is a little tricky, because I don't really know how quickly the points get earned. I know, and there is actually a thing, like if you subscribe, and also if you, because there's like, you click the redeem bonus points as well. Down to 110. Total of 2,210. Okay. So what's that about? About 700 per stream. Okay. That's a lot more than I was thinking. But it's not too bad, because that would be... Although, of course, these are shorter ones, aren't they? A lot quicker than I thought it was, yeah. So I might have to bump the prices up. Not in terms of, I don't want you redeeming them. I do. I quite like that interaction when I'm streaming, so it's good to have a few. But if they're earned that quickly, then some of them you could quite easily spam in. I guess I could put limits on number. Okay, all of the physics, all of the time. So I could limit things like... Because I think at the moment, if you're getting that many, you could highlight every message in chat, which would... Oh, come on. I hope they sort the physics out with the vehicles properly at some point, because it's a bit daft, some of the stuff it does. And it's only amusing when you're not having to retrieve your vehicle from the lake because, you've hit the tiniest of rocks and it's launched at 40 feet into the air. Just so they don't get spammed. Yeah, that's all I was really after, I say. I mean, burn through them. I don't, you know, they don't have any, they don't have any monetary value. They're just there for you to use, sort of thing. And I prefer it to the, you know, there is bits and stuff you can do as well. But as I've said before, you know, I'm very grateful if people do want to subscribe and, you know, do bits and whatever and cheer and all that sort of stuff. But I'm not, you know, I'm not interested in making money out of the streaming. So I'd much rather people use the channel points, you know. It's also, I mean, I was saying before, you know, if there's a particular one you wanted to redeem, you know, it causes you to hang around as well, because and stay watching so you can get the points. So it's not entirely altruistic. But yeah, so basically we're going to go back to the grassland. Now, I could have gone the other route, but I will be totally honest, I don't actually remember how to get round that way, and we'd end up probably, especially with the truck, we'd probably end up basically getting lost and having to get stuck. So we'll go right the way round. It also gives me an opportunity to go back to the main base. I suspect we are quite close. In fact, we could hop in the, I think the Explorer is over here, when I was messing about. Yeah, here we go. So we could switch over to the Explorer. Can I deconstruct this? That's a question. Right. Has it got anything in it? A bit. Can I put that in here? Yes. So, we'll make a bit of space in here. We can actually deconstruct that. We can hop in the good old exploder. Has it got any fuel? It's got a bit of fuel. Because this is a lot quicker, this. It also seems a little less prone to some of the mad physics, which is useful. Whoops. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure what to do today because I was saying I sort of didn't find time. I kind of could have made time, but I was playing the Aesthetic Factorio series, just trying to tidy it up a little bit. I didn't actually play a lot, but I was trying to tidy it up, and also I did the one-to-one station names. But I was a bit puzzled as to how big everything was getting, and how I seemed to need a lot more. So I was a bit puzzled why because I got a table basically that says how much of everything I need, just so that I can design the factories. It's not intended to be a, you know, super huge mega base or anything like that, but just so that, you know, I know roughly how much I need to build so that I can make the science, you know, and keep it running, and we don't end up with a factory that's starving itself and that sort of thing. And I took another look at the numbers, and I don't know what the heck I did. I'd completely messed them up. It looked to me sort of, because I then spent hours and hours and hours redoing the numbers. It looked to me like I doubled it and then doubled it again. So where I've built 2 entire foundries for copper, I don't need 2, I only needed 1. And that produces twice as much as we need. So actually with 2 foundries, I'm producing 4 times as much copper as I need. Which even with travel time and margin of error and all that sort of stuff, that's a silly amount of copper to be making. I was gonna, if I drop off some of this here, I don't really need megatons of fuel. Now, is there anything worth taking with us? I could just make the truck again so that it's back home and put some fuel in there. Well, what's worth taking with us? I guess if we're going to be working on structural stuff, we don't really need all this ammo. It might be, probably do need that. In fact, I'll take, oh, I can't. I'll take them over to the, you know, over to the, whatchamacallit. And we'll have 300 ammo here. And I'll put the rest in here. Now, I guess I could top up with a bit of fuel. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to run out of room for plastic, basically, and rubber, because they're not being used for anything. So we can turn that back on quickly. In fact, let's put the... Oh! Oh, is my jetpack... Have I gone and left that? Ah. I think I've left my... It doesn't matter, I can use the jetpack, but I think I've left the hover pack back at the other place. Oh. That's a bit annoying. Yeah, but I say... Actually, I don't know why I've got health lost. But yeah, so I got a bit wrapped up in that and ended up just playing about with... Because I used the Factorio Lab calculator. I was just playing about with that for hours and hours and hours. But what I decided to do, I think the one that's... I'm not going to tear them down or anything. But the one that's the boat-based one, I'm going to turn into half and half. So it'll be both half iron and half copper. And kind of use them... Because I've got a plan now where I'm going to put like oil. I'm going to put it on the coast. And we'll use some of the... what am I looking for? I need to put this in here. We'll use some of the northern coast to make like low density structures and stuff. What else? If I get rid of these, I mostly pick these up now to stop them talking because they're a bit annoying. But apparently they're useless. I didn't watch the Tuesday dev stream. I think maybe I want to take some more silica and concrete, if that's mostly what we're going to be doing, I think. Yeah, if we take some silica and concrete. Have I got basically, so I've got some plates, I've got some rods. I mean, there's loads of stuff over there as well, because that's what that factory is doing. We've got some engines, got some motors, rotors, cables, wires. Yeah, I guess we could get some of them encased industrial beams. But otherwise I think we're okay. So we'll get a little bit more concrete. Because that's mostly what we'll be playing about with. Maybe... We'll stack there. We'll nip up to... I think it's the 4th floor. And grab them encased industrial beams. It's a quicker journey back with this one anyway, so even if we end up not quite having enough stuff, it's actually quicker to come back this way. No, that's cables, isn't it? Distance-wise, like as the crow flies, it's actually about the same, but it's a direct route. Whereas the other one, you've got to curve round. And this is going to be the right one? Yeah, there we go. So we've got a couple of stacks of them. And what's in here? Yeah, let's take another stack of that. And then we'll sort of fill the rest up with silica. Should be able to just jump down here without killing myself. Oh, apart from the fact I ran into the thing. But yeah, a slight change of... Well, I don't know about change of plans, but I can do things a little bit differently at the weekend. Partly because, for some reason, I cannot quite fathom, the qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix is on at a weird time. So I've got a chainsaw and some more bombs, but yeah, I've not got me a whatchamacallit pack, have I? No. So it's a quicker journey, this. So. Go this way. Yeah, so the Saturday stream needs to start slightly later, be 4 o'clock. I'll still do 3 hours, hopefully. But that would crash Joria 2 as normal. But then on Sunday, I want to give the Sweet Transit demo a go. Sweet Transit's a new game by an ex-Factorio dev. And it looks quite a lot like Factorio. But it seems to be much more... It's basically like the trains part of Factorio, but... Right, I played the tutorial. And it's actually quite similar to Anno, which is a game I love as well. It feels a little bare bones at the moment, I gotta say. Mechanically it seems sound. Because it's basically the same as Factorio. But it does seem a little bare bones at the minute. But it's only a demo for it to go into open access. Oh, hello. LE 2838483. Is that Leet speak? Or just a random number? Hello there. Welcome to the stream. Does this game have any form of terrain deformation? Not quite. So you can all of this vegetation. Can I hop out here? Or is anything going to kill me? All of this vegetation can be picked up, so you can collect it. You can't necessarily always do it by hand. Sometimes you have to use the chainsaw. This lad here. So you can generally cut down all the vegetation with the chainsaw, and some of that you need, because you biomass and you need it for the color cartridges and things like that. If you want to get rid of it permanently, then you can use the novelisks. So when you blow things up with the novelisk, they blow up. Now some rocks can be blown up. I won't be surprised if that one could be blown up, for example. Whoops, pressed the wrong button there. But one of the problems is whenever they do one of these updates, it just resets all the map. Okay, so that one can't be blown up. It's a bit random, and a lot of ones that can be blown up are just to block access to areas, so you can get into them. They're sort of for like, it's like almost like caves, like in an RPG, or dungeons in an RPG. But you can't change the terrain itself, so you can't shift, the terrain up or down or anything like that. It is fixed. It's one thing, I believe it's something they've said that was sort of on a wish list at some point, but I think they've decided against it. So all of this, all of these trees, if I, wanted to run a train through it and just have a nice straight train, path, I could blow up all the trees and get rid of them. But in terms of actually changing the surface, no, you can't. You can't do that. So this is my train, that goes around. As you can see, I've sort of weaved it through the gap, basically, rather than little things. Partly why I put together the military factory was the intention was to, make a load of novelisks and use them to blow up the terrain. And I say it's a bit random which things you can blow up. It's not random, obviously they've decided, but some things you can blow up and some things you can't, and you can almost only know by testing it. So this is the desert. This is a grassland factory. And so the intention here is really to rework this. They're also changing the old moth flying over. He flies through the factory, unfortunately. It's quite high. But yes, so I quite like this factory. It was my first attempt at doing something vaguely aesthetic. The big... Why are you walking through my factory again? The basic idea was that, so these smelters here, so these are doing iron ingot. Because there's quite a lot of resources. The grassland's one of your starting points, one of the slightly easy starting point, and there is quite a lot of resources. But if I'm going to do trucks now for collecting, I'd need to replace these. But yeah, the idea was that when I built this, I thought this would be like enough. So this actually produces screws and rods and stuff. I hadn't done any maths, so is this... Yeah, so this is the rods. Is it just rods here, or does it do... I think that's screws as well. Oh no, iron plate. So it's doing iron plate and rods. And screws. Lots and lots of screws. But when I did the maths for producing these, you know, the tier 4 things, it was just apparent. I thought this factory would be like, you know, well, the factory I built over in, you know, the, you know, on the coast. I thought that was like a mega factory, you know, or, you know, a sufficiently big factory to finish the game. And then it became apparent that it just wasn't. So I then built this factory, which is making screws and rods and all that sort of stuff. And then it became apparent that this is just nowhere near enough either. So I built the mega factory, mega foundry. So the plan basically is to rework this. It's going to be a bit tedious, if I'm honest. It's not probably the most thrilling of content. Because I kind of need to decide. I mean, what we could do is just mess about with trains. That's the other option. Because we've got plenty of room here. And there's plenty of flat bits. So we could mess about with trains instead. And come up with like a train, you know, a train platform, a train, you know, path thing. Like this, basically, but better. So we could do that instead. But I think I need to sort of basically cut this off. Because as you can see, it is still doing stuff. And if I cut this off, the other factory will just grind to a halt. Oh, I didn't do the plastic, did I? Oh. Thank you very much for the follow, Ellie. Very kind. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. What do you call it? It's not a channel, is it, I suppose? Anyway, welcome along. Yeah, so I think I need to cut it off is basically the thing. We're going to have to rip off the band-aid and just sort of kill this off. Because although it is making things that the other factory is using, you know, I could probably leave these here and then we'll just slowly eat up the stuff, if you see what I mean. So it slowly gets transported over. Is that going to work? I have this, I keep saying this, I have this inbuilt thing with, it's because I play Factorio mostly. And I have this inbuilt thing of not wanting to just throw the resources away and not like bin them. But in this game, and it's because the resources are, you know, the resource patches are limited in Factorio. But here, they're all infinite patches. There's just infinite amounts of everything. So it's sort of pointless, particularly for these low-level items. I mean, I've got an entire foundry that's making screws now. I don't need this production, and yet I'm sort of, you know, it makes me nervous to just get rid of it. Yeah, I think what I'll do, as I say, I'll cut it off in terms of supply, but we'll leave it here for the time being. I'm quickly going to run out of inventory space, aren't I? I mean the other thing we could do. This is how badly I've planned this stream, which is basically to say I haven't planned it at all. I usually try and work out what I'm going to do, because I need a concrete factory as well. And I'm thinking about having that here as well, because there's quite a lot of. I don't think I've marked it all. Not all of it, but you see all the pink ones. That's the limestone. And as you can see, I mean, there's almost more limestone. I don't think they're pure patches, but there's almost more limestone here than there is iron, and there's definitely more than there is copper. How much limestone do I actually need? I've got the lab calculator open. So for my numbers, for what I'm doing, in theory, I would need I mean, it's not. I haven't put the overclock numbers in, but it's 30 miners. Obviously, I'll at least overclock them to 200, so it's 15, or or less, or maybe 10, something like that. So, if we were to do the concrete factory here, I mean, there are 10 up there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9, well, 10 if you include that one. And I think some of these are multi-patches. I don't, or one of them is. But it's borderline all the concrete I need for for the numbers I've calculated. Shall we do that instead? I think that's probably a little bit more interesting. But yeah, I'll chop this off. I'll cut off the supply. That sounds weird. And then we'll go and sort of work on a sort of a concrete factory, I think. And maybe I could start thinking about the trains properly. Is that them all cut off? Yeah, there we go. Because can I do trains? I can do a little bit of trains, can't I? Because I've got some steel. Okay. So where would I want... Because I am thinking about basically using roughly these lines. I quite like, the route that it takes, even if it's sort of higgledy-piggledy, basically. Oh. Okay, so where would be a good... Because isn't there the... I don't know what to call it. Like, there's like a crater somewhere around here. Is that this part of the map? It's so long since I've been here. No, it's not here, is it? What's that one over there? Oh. Let's just drive around and I'll sort of vaguely re-familiarise myself with this. Because it is literally 9 months since I've even been here. We could do something poking out over the... Oh, that'd be interesting. Because this is where the waterfall is. That might be fun. Let's not drive off to the waterfall. I would have to be very, very careful. Is the... With my habit of falling off. Because this is just instant death if you fall off here. Because I think the train station is there. Does the train go that way? I think it comes through there, doesn't it? I wish it showed you stuff on the map. Because I'm just wondering, if we build a factory for concrete that literally like poke juts out over this surface, I'll have to think of an interesting way of... that'd probably be too big, wouldn't it? Because then we can have the trucks driving around the grassland, picking up all the concrete. I'm going to flip that to zoom. So now it's... Oh, I'm using this foundation. It sort of pokes out here. The risk, basically, is just going to be from my competence. Because there's a very, 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 very real risk, given I fall off my other foundry all the time, that I'll fall off. I mean, you don't... Well, I think it then spawns your chest back on here. Because it's literally, it's literally instant death. I have fallen into this as well. I've fallen into just about every single part of the map. Or off every single part of the map at some point. Hang on a sec. Yeah. Because then I wouldn't... If we use these, you see, and overclock them, I wouldn't have to bother transporting limestone around. Because I could keep a little bit being made here instead of training it over or something, I don't know. But I don't actually need that much concrete. you know, compared to the iron and copper and stuff. So that's one option, doing it here. Let's just go and have a look and see. Because I could just be normal and build it sort of in the middle, where it'd be sensible. Where's the crater, anyway? Because I thought there was a bit round here. Oh, it's that I'm thinking of, I think, isn't it? Or that, maybe? I'm sure the bit which like a big crater. Let's just go and have an explore anyway. So we always pick this up on Monday if I don't get very far. But because the other option is to build it sort of up here somewhere, maybe, and have it actually over the waterfalls. That'd be even cooler. But I'm not sure about the practicality of that, because it's a little tricky getting over there. I think this will hurt me, but not too much. Because say I could potentially like build it off of this. Oh, it's actually is that a copper patch or an iron patch? I mean, that'd probably be even better, wouldn't it? Feels like a bit of a waste of the space, though. Can you get over to that other side? And have I ever been over? It looks like you can, can't you? And I haven't. I wonder if there's anything interesting over there. Looks like a bit of the map I've never been to. In fact, I'm not sure I didn't think it was just decorative. I particularly like this idea because I could have the trains just sort of, when I rework the train system, they could just connect into that bit of train over there. And I can keep the same basic path. I assume that's iron. Whoops, wrong one. No, that's not iron then. Okay. Copper? No. It's not limestone, is it? Well, that pinged very quickly, so that must be. No? What the heck's over there then? We'll go and have a look. We will go and have a look. Yes, I think I'm going to build it here. And we'll have it... I'll use these two things as, like, places where the feet are, I think. And we'll have it sort of floating out over the thing. I say it feels a bit... I don't know, not wasteful, but sort of, like, maybe this would be better for a power thing, but... doing what, in a sense? So am I going to align it to the old universal grid? What would that look like? So if we do this... no, wrong button. Trying to get used to the shortcuts a bit more. Not a double, right? Where's the... Oh, does it not have straight bits? Yeah. Okay. Let's do that again then. Is that not... Oh, is that Caterium? Wrong button. Trying to get used to straight bits and completely failing. Yeah, it's Caterium, isn't it? Okay. Interesting, interesting. You lot need sorting out though. Okay. We're going to see what this crash is as well. Is this anything I can get access to? I said before, I mean, there's probably something over here as well. Sometimes they're just guarded by geometry. So as in, getting to them is a bit tricky. Yeah, it looks like it's just a geometry one. So what do you need? What? Okay. Shouldn't that tell me what it wants? Oh, it's a long time since I did one of these as well. But this should tell me what it needs, shouldn't it? Unless I already came. I must have already come here. Huh. Yeah, there's no other debris, is there? So I've obviously already been here. Huh. I wonder how many months ago that was. Right, let's see if we can't... Missed. There we go. See if we can't sort of work out... I wonder if it does the thing like at the desert sea, where you get to a certain point and suddenly the water's no longer there. Right, so this is too low, isn't it? Whoops. Wow, okay. Oh, there's an actual platform there. Okay. So I wonder if there's anything over there. Let's do a ping of, I don't know, oil or something. Not getting any returns. We might be too far away then. Well, there might not be anything over there either. You see, there's even more limestone there as well that I haven't marked. Let's not get distracted. Admittedly, I'm the one getting distracted, so it's my fault. But what I need to work out, because if I'm going to put like a fake support on this, right, I need to sort of work out how it's going to be, because this height is also not quite high enough to go over that. So if I'm having it over the waterfall in some way, then it does need to be above both of these, so that I can then, as I say, put a sort of fake support, fake legs basically. So if I had one of them, and it would say, whoops, on the top here, and then I wanted a couple of lads in there. So that's the sort of height we need to get to, I think. Give me room to do a nice sort of fake supporting pillar. Is that too high? Might be a bit too high there. I think if we go just the one. Yeah, it's probably okay. So how high up do I need to go to reach that sort of height? I guess if we use the 4 meter. So our description's wrong, isn't it? I just realised I'm messing about with a concrete factory. See, what I really want to do, if I'm honest, is like turn the nuclear on, but I can't do that until the Spire Coast is done, because I suspect I'm going to have to... Would that be okay? So, if that was gone, it's approximately here. Let's see if I can go down without dying. And then we were putting one of these underneath. So, those. And then this clips in to look like it's been anchored into the bedrock. Although I mean, obviously it wouldn't be there. I'd put it somewhere a bit more sensible. But yeah, I think that's okay. So does that height work, is the question. If we have it here. This is one of the things I like most about this game, the sort of creativity part of it. And that it ends up looking, even for a biff like me, it ends up looking pretty good. So if this was our lowest level, what could be really awesome? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I wonder if how many. Sorry, I'm gonna look in a weird direction and check my calculator again. If I was making encased industrial beams here as well, that might work really well because. So concrete is just, you just basically take limestone and turn it into concrete. There's nothing else needed for that. But if you then do it to make encased industrial beams, I would have to bring in steel. But that's it. I would only have to bring in one resource from the steel foundry. So I could train that in, basically. So that would work really well, I think. Okay. So, what I'm thinking, the thing that's just occurred to me, and drop down here without dying, is that I could use these, like, gaps to be the train stations, so we could have underslung train stations. Like I've got at some of the, well, at that military one. So we could put, like, I mean, it's fake beams again. It's not doing anything. But if you put these here, and then say this is what I've done. The other one. So you put a few of these in. Another one of them. A floor underneath. Whoop. And it looks structurally like this, especially if you put, a bigger beam above it, sort of thing. So it looks like it's, what do they call it, like mezzanine, is it, floor? Where it's actually suspended from the floor above it. And so we can have those going up to the proper floor, roof, as it were, to make it look like it's been, it's being supported from underneath. And so we can use these and that to make it look like it's a thing. Because I don't think it needs to be this big, that big, this factory. I was a bit worried this stream was going to be just me grinding out, deleting stuff, basically. Because I would need 80 constructors, which is a lot, but nothing compared to what I've been doing before. And then we would need 30 assemblers for the encased industrial beams. So what we can actually do, because concrete we're going to need anyway, so we could do like 90. Oh no, well the assemblers are bigger, aren't they? So maybe they'll work out. But we could potentially do 40, 40, 30, like next to each other. So it's a one floor factory. Because I've been doing a lot of vertical factories. Yeah, that might work. Let's give that a go. So, if I was doing it from a point of view, because what I could do, this could also be the thing with the trucks come in. So we could have the trucks coming in to deliver What I'm going to do about collecting like random resources and stuff, I've not decided yet. Because I'm going to end up with a lot of factories with a lot of stuff, you know, that I kind of need to collect. And I should really send it all round to the other factories via trains and stuff. But yeah, we could have the trains. We could have the trucks, like coming in here. What would that be? Because again, it's not massive volumes like the iron and copper. So if this, oh, I haven't got modular frames. Let's see if I can put myself a little ramp in. Well, that's a point. Is this going to be high enough if I do that? Because it needs to have a nice smooth transition here, and it hasn't got one, has it? Oh, where did you come from? You weren't here before. Oops. They're pretty dumb. It's very forgiving with the accuracy. But let's grab that as well. So what am I after? I'm after modular frames. Grab a couple again. I mean, it's not too much of an angle, but if I put it at that angle, at that height, it's like perfectly integrated. Yeah, there's no dip. So I'm just a bit worried about the the cars doing trucks doing something bizarro. Because it's quite wide as well. We could have, you know, a sort of 4 or even 5 wide road coming in. Yeah, okay. So it needs to be at, whoops, at this height. Oh, there you go. There you go. Nearly killed myself. How am I going to get up there? If I go up to here. To there. Right. I might keep the jetpack on. Not that it'll save me from that plunge into the abyss, but... Right, so if I take that up... Especially if the road is at this level, as I say, it's sort of pretty much a perfect match for the terrain. So the truck shouldn't do anything completely bonkers in terms of, you know, hitting terrain that's not there and flipping a million miles into the air. Which is a thing they're very keen to do for some reason. So get rid of that. And then making this full wide, aren't I? But get rid of that. And then take all of that out again. You can also do things, some cool things with putting, like, building things into the water. It's quite cool. It lets you put them straight into the bedrock. So it actually looks like it's been, you know, built there, as it were. Right, so let's take all of this out again. As I said before, the scale of the building of this game, as in, you know, like the volume of stuff you have to produce. And as I've said before, I'm apparently missing out on a real trick by not using alternate recipes, but they've clearly designed it around, you know, big production numbers and taking hours and hours to build everything, because otherwise it sort of doesn't really make sense. So yeah, I'm thinking we have like a road, basically. Not really wide one, to try and avoid collisions. But we've effectively got two lanes, two things here for trucks coming out. Is that going to be the best way of arranging it? Yeah, probably. And they'll effectively go around in a big loop, I think. So there is stuff here, so I could belt some of it over. But if I can belt things to a sensible place, like we could have one there, and one, I don't know, like up here or something, and, one here. 2 or 3 truck stops, and they can basically go then in a big circle. So this might be tricky. In fact, they have to go that way, don't they, I think? So I'll have to put like a road round, I think, just like I've been doing in the desert. But it seems a more sensible, like, path. And potentially I could then also use that for iron. Because I think I'm going to have to do some, like, transporting stuff to other factories, basically. Right, so if this is the level for the underslung thing, then we need to make sure, because this is going to be the wrong height as well, isn't it, then? Take all that out. Where's that one? So we'll leave sort of a few bits over there, so I know roughly what height I'm going to. They're all too far away. Okay. Yeah, so 2 coming in on this way. And where do I actually want the sort of trucks to pull over? So if the trucks sort of pulled up here, because there's no point in them driving all the way down, and that gives me a bit of room if I do need to grab this Bacterium. And then we'll put this, I don't know, for the time being we'll just make it a 10 zoop. No, it needs to be wider, because they're going to need pathing. So they come around this corner, and then there's truck stop. No, transportation, truck station. Truck stop here. One should be fine, I think. I say it's not enormous volumes, but we'll make sure there's a bit of space to allow for the physics to happen. Where do I want the edge of that to be? I guess if I put it right on that corner of that bit of concrete. So trucks come in here, drive round, do a drop off, turn around here, do a U-turn, do a U-E. Yeah, so this needs to be probably one wider, I think. So ideally, it's quite big, isn't it? But ideally, this would be the sort of boundary for the trucks. It's probably a bit too generous. Not that big. I think actually this could go further over, because it always shows more space on the side than... So I put it there before, didn't I? If I put it at the halfway, like that maybe. And then, well, let's I should be able to build a truck. So if this is the truck, you see, my thought was it comes in here, nice and in the centre. It's like being a kid again and driving your Tonka toys around. Like this. So it drives around here. Drops off the thing. So that's plenty of room. And then I'll probably have to take it a little further out, because it tends to do shortcutting, I've noticed, on the path. But we go around here and it sort of turns around. Oops. Turns around. Brum brum. And then it come down here. How much room do I want to allow? I think we're fine if we do it one less. I think that's enough. Yeah. Oh, I suppose I've got to put the belts in, haven't I? They're not that big. Oh, I'm going to have to get fuel here as well. Isn't there coal relatively close to this? I'm sure it pinged for some coal. Waits for ping. That's a long time for ping. Oh. Oh, it's the ones I've marked over there. And there's one down there. No. I mean, there's coal there, so I could fuel them here. If I'm putting a stop here to pick up the limestone, that could be the refueling one as well. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, so let's not worry about refueling. All that would be here is some belts. Or, you know, lifts. But if I'm going to want a... I could do that thing where you overlap. I'm not the biggest fan of that. You can sort of get them to overlap like that, and they treat them as separate things. Well, it doesn't look too bad, but... In fact, let's just do something like that. Yeah, okay. So if I pop a truck in, I can work out how high it would need to be. Yeah, so it fits obviously underneath. So that's fine. But if it was trying to go over this truck station, I think it only has to be 3 high. Is that right, or is that clipping through? Obviously I'll put in conveyor lifts and stuff. It's sort of, I think it's not really clipping, but it's sort of literally, yeah, there's not quite enough room to stand. But that's okay, because it needs to be 4 high to fit a train in anyway. So, train station, which I probably can't build. Transport. Train station. Oh, I can build. Okay. But what am I going to be delivering here? That's the big question. Is it just literally going to be concrete? Or is it going to be the encased, what should we call it, as well? So if this was the train station, say here. Well, the other question is, how am I going to route them round if they're coming in like this? I haven't really decided what I'm doing in terms of train system, whether it's double-ended trains or single-sided trains or what. Why don't I get one of... Why don't I pop down... Actually, look out the tower. Nuts. Transportation... Train station... Oh, it looks like it needs to be 5 high instead of 4. I wonder where I got 4 from. But yeah, so if the train stations were, you know... So if that was the... That's too far, isn't it? Because it's... I think I'm only thinking 1 carriage. Crunchy autosave. So it would be a freight platform. Am I thinking one carriage? I mean, I think I am for concrete. Because most of the concrete is going into... In fact, I'm only really moving the concrete around because I need to use it, basically. Because it essentially, for what I want to build in terms of production numbers, it pretty much goes... In fact, it does. It all goes into encased industrial beams. It's not being used for any other recipe that I'm doing. To say, there is the caveat though that I need to make concrete sort of thing. Oh, no worries, Johnny. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Don't know if you're going to pop in over the weekend, but slightly different schedule if you're still there. Starting tomorrow, I'll be starting later at 4 o'clock. And Sunday we'll do a bit of Sweet Transit to start off. If you're interested in that game at all, I don't think many people know about it. It's sort of a Factorio, but trains, basically. Smushed together with Anno. Yeah, thanks for dropping by. Good to see you again. Yeah, I think I like that idea. I say the question I just haven't resolved full stop is whether they're double-headed trains. I don't fancy doing that, but it means I need to turn round in this station. And I say I'm really only moving concrete because, you know, I want concrete to build, sort of thing. So they don't even need to be that deep, which means that, in fact, let's just jump off. Which means that I could potentially move this in a bit. In fact, quite a bit. So, well, if I lined it up with that, and then took those two out, and then we had, what, a freight platform here? Oh no, I think I established before it doesn't really matter which way around those are. I thought it did, but it's... You have to do the load-unload setting. So I could keep it on the right to keep it consistent. So how high does this actually need to be to go? Come on. No, other way please. No, this way. Oh, it shows like it's clipping, but... Oh, it is, look. Crikey. Trains are big. Okay. Amsterdam? Blimey. Let's not walk too far backwards and fall over. Fall off. So yeah, we can have one station there. For the concrete or the frames. Then we can have the next station. Well, right next to it. Because we're running out of room a little bit. Not that much. Because actually, I could have that the other way round. And then I could put them closer together. So we can have that way around. And this could be right next to this. Like that. And then this one is that way round. So I've got room for belts going up here. And then we've got 2 or potentially even 3. Or maybe even 4. To have the actual railway, you know, coming out again. So essentially it turns round. So connect that to there. I'm still not really practiced with rails. So kind of bear with me. The horribleness that I may create. But in principle, will this turn round? Ugh. I need to work out how you do a lot of rail stuff. As I say, I've not had a lot of success with it. So, at the very least, it'd be some path like this. And then, you know, comes out here somewhere. Like that. So these both come in. I mean, this could be the entry point, as it were. Yeah, they could both come in. You know, here. So this could be the entry, maybe, as well. Oh, as I say, I don't quite get round. But it's something that happens here. That's not connected properly, is it? Whatever. Maybe if I put a bit in there. No? 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 Okay. No? Right. Never mind. But yes, railway things happen with railways. Here. Is the point. And there was a bit of room at the end, wasn't there? Yeah, there's loads of room. Is it 2 tiles worth? So I could put them further in and still not be... It's the old vertigo. Okay, so... As I say, how... Because what I could... I mean, I could do a double level thing. That'd be quite funky, wouldn't it? So in other words, this isn't at the same level as the truck stop. And I sort of... Again, let's not take the platform out underneath me. And maybe... Because this is, you know, relatively high. And I say it's sort of self-contained. So we could go like down 2 levels. Oops. So the trains are here. Nice and close to the water. So now it's, oops, how close am I to the edge? Trains, oh, I need to put a bit more in, don't I? Otherwise it won't let me build it. No, that's on the seafloor. Oh. Can you connect to that? There you go. So this is at this level then. Like that. Does that then put them at the same height? Or near as damn it, sort of thing? It's not far off, is it? Not far off. Whoops. What? What? Did I just deconstruct that? Okay. I didn't think I deconstructed that, and it seems to have disappeared. Righto. Fine. I can just build another one. So it was one level up, wasn't it? So it was this one here. So if that's there, come on, is that high enough with the trains? It's not giving any yellow, you know, yellow things. It is there because it goes a bit weird with the interactions between the walls and the floors. I've noticed now. I think it's because it's telling you something that previously it didn't bother telling you about the clipping. That's perfect, isn't it? Is it? Because that's the station. Yeah, that's perfect height-wise, I think. Okay. So let's take all this out then. Well, I could leave this bit, actually. In case I wanted to do something with, you know, walkway associated with the trucks or something. I mean, we could have the trucks sort of looping around the trains. That's probably getting a bit too fancy. Too fancy. Oops. And I say, there is the question, lingering question about... Because some resources there aren't too many of. And because of how I've done the numbers, there's a good chance I kind of need all of them. Either that or I need to start properly doing the alternate recipes. And I've said before, going around finding all the crash sites is not kind of what I'm interested in. Right, are you gonna... Floor is too steep, that must be because it's not wide enough. Come on. I wonder why they don't clip. Use the green arrow, you know, lines. I'm kind of thinking the entire system will end up being 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. As in everything is 1, 1 trains. Just to sort of reduce the tax on my brain. My poor little brain. Because I could do multi, you know, multi-product trains like I was doing, or I'm already doing. But that was quite painful doing that. Yeah, so if this is the sort of theoretical, you know, envelope, this needs to be a bit wider, doesn't it? Was it there? Yeah. No? No, one more. Okay. So how wide does this need to be? Something like this. One more. One more again. Yeah. Okay. I was watching Total Eclipse's video. I can't remember the guy's name. It's a bit difficult to say. I don't recall. But he was showing the factory. It's one of the best factories I've ever seen. But he made a point on there that it's sort of so good. Not sure he could ever sort of match it really. some really clever thinking that doesn't seem to rely too much on mods. Like using the, using the assets it's got, sort of thing, that you've got. Okay, so if this is the underslung bit, as it were, did I want to do that? Or do we want a ramp? Do we do a steep ramp? I guess we do a steep ramp. Project Eden, it was called, the factory. Oh, well, I'm not fully clear if... Why are you not... That was just one bit of it called that, or not. It was pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. But then that had been like 2,000 hours of building or something, he said. What? Which is what there? Oh, that's asphalt, isn't it? So if we put in one of them... Oops. Like that. So I think got a ramp at least. I can get up here. Cool. So then this is the sort of... should I put some windows on start, as a sort of a... Which is the cheapest window? That one, isn't it? Because it's concrete. Yeah, so the actual, train will go underneath here. I don't probably know how deep I need it to be. But that's kind of influenced by the actual assemblers and stuff. Oh, what are you... Oh. Okay. Or do I want to put a ramp here as well somewhere? So I don't really know exactly where they're going to be. Might need them a bit deeper. But if we sort of assume, again, it's some sort of corner, like, coming around here, when I eventually work out how you do railway track, because they always go wobbly. I can't stop them from going wobbly. Like doing snaking rather. I don't seem to be able to work out quite how to do that. Because if you hold the control to get it to click, it shows you the green line, but it seems to basically just ignore it. So yeah, if that was coming that way, we've got room here, so I can either either have a wall here or a wall here. It might make sense, because I haven't really been considering how I'm going to get into any of their factories. So it makes sense if there is like a walkway here. So then if we have a... Yeah, if we have a sort of a... another ramp here. So the Pioneer can walk around it, basically. That sort of makes sense. Is it 2 up? It's 2 up, isn't it? Yeah. Like that. Now, is it a 2 wide ramp? No, I think it has to be a 1 wide ramp. So I don't quite know exactly where these are going to go. So we need to leave a bit of space. But then we can put some... Oops. Windows on again. And we'll just use the cheapest one for now. Okay. So again, this probably needs filling in, but We'll leave it for now. Plus, there's more opportunity then for me to just fall to my doom. Speaking of which, let's just seal it in for now. To try and lessen the chances of that. And I'll just put one here. Okay, and then I'll put something here. Again, more just to stop me from falling off rather than being the final thing. Okay, so that's that side of it. Wait, I've got 2 levels of floor here. Which one am I doing? So, is it that one? Yes, because that one was 1 too short, wasn't it? So, this is the... I need this to be the fake floor, basically. So we need the one high fake floor for me to do sorting. So I'll just get rid of these for the time being. Is that too wide? Oops. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. Oh, I'm out of concrete. It's not half full already. Blimey. Okay. Right, so we get some more concrete. Let's get all of it. Go. So they're really good, the trains. This game. Yeah, so there'd be some sort of walling of some description to help keep the things in. That's where the roof needs to go to there, at the very least. Maybe get rid of that part. So, in fact, let's just use regular concrete for the fake floor. So, is this here or isn't it? I think it's not here. Okay. Oops. Yeah, okay. Let's get up here. Finish this bit off. And if I use... let's just do... so if that's the... about there. Okay. So by fake floor, I'm intending for there to be like a floor which is hidden essentially, which has all these sorting, you know, belts in it basically. I think I'm going to keep that design consistent across all of the factories. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a ramp. So. Okay, let's just make this. Zooped into the heavens. So, this was the original height that I said we needed to be at. So if we put this, you know, pseudo floor in, then I think we're about right. So if this is here, I think we're about okay with that. So if I give us a way to get over there, because that's the... Come on, there you go. Yeah, in fact, it's perfect, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So say I need to fill it in properly, but this is the real floor where there's actual machines. So I guess in the last half hour I can work out size and scale and etc. I was saying to someone the other day, I think there is a way of doing it, but it's not like officially supported. But I'd love to play this in VR. I think this sort of game certainly is like perfect VR. I think you'd need oh, run out of concrete again. I've run out of concrete again. How about I rob some of this then? Before we head back to the car. Ironically, I've run out of concrete for my concrete factory. And that's it, isn't it? Okay. Okay. Should have grabbed it all. Should have grabbed it all. I mean, we're really close to the other factory, so I could just nip back, but we've got another 1,000. So that should hopefully do us. Oh, we're doing weird clipping. Okay. Must be a way of aligning them better. Yeah, so I'd love to play with you. I believe there is a way of doing it, but it's sort of an unofficial one. And as I understand it, it doesn't work great. But you'd also have to have an absolute beast of a machine, I think, to run this properly. Because it needs optimising anyway. But you know, I don't think anyone's system really runs it very well. Even if you got 3090s and stuff, it's a bit of a difficult one to run. Can't believe the 4000 series cars are about to come out. Oh, I could rob this as well, couldn't I? Because that all needs to go. But yeah, so this is like the maximum extent left, I think. I don't think I'll, we're going to take this as the furthest point it goes over. Because if I want to do something with that, I'm going to have to find somewhere to, move it or do something with it. So, oops. So save. So that's as far over as I say as we're going left. Now is this as far forward? I think so. We'll have the road sort of being here, I think, as a separate thing to the factory. It's just in front of the factory. Yeah, so this is like the proper corner, as it were. So if I've got... Okay. So, if I was mimicking the other factory, I'd need at least 2 tiles in. Oops. Those 2 there. And then we need to get a constructor. I need to decide how we're laying these out. Because we put 1 there. Because we want I want all the way. So I think I may well end up making essentially the same factory over and over again. So 2, 3, 5. Is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In fact, let's put some walls on. Because this is classic me falling off. And in fact, let's properly fill out the floor as well. I was going to say I didn't. I watched the old Summer Games Fest yesterday. Bit in fast forward mode. It's always a tricky one for me, those sorts of things, because there's a lot of games I'm just not interested in, like most people. And I'd quite like to watch them live and do tweet along or whatever, but there's loads of games that I've got no interest in whatsoever. So, not that I therefore think those games shouldn't exist. They're just not for me. But this year was really a bit of a damp squib. It was a bit sort of, because well, this year's theme, and I can kind of understand it with the whole pandemic and stuff. Started working on these games, but basically, horror games is the thing, and games that are basically Dead Space is the thing. And again, I'm not massively into that. I don't really like scary games because I get too scared. Big coward. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be the next one. If I was doing that. So that's 20, is it? 5, 10. It is constructors, isn't it? Yeah. So that gives me 5, 10, 15. Oh, it's only 15. Okay. I thought that was 20. 5, 10, 15. Okay, so this, if I'm doing 20 in a row, which I'm not necessarily doing, we could do 15 in a row. Oops, sorry. Can I get over to there better? It's a bit far away to be deconstructing things. No, can't reach it. I've run out of concrete again. Okay. Yeah, that's only a few bits. Yeah, that's it. So that's 3. I like the sound of the running water. That's quite cool. Oh, no, you're not gonna clip properly. Attach properly, rather. So, is that 20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 15. 1, 2, 20. Okay. So that's sort of my standard arrangement. But we've not gone very far over, have we? So, if I then put you know, a walkway bit there, and then we had the next 20 there, and then say a walkway one, next 20 there, walkway one, next 20 there. So that's 20, 40, 60, 80. Which is the number of machines I need, I believe. Let's just check and make sure. Yeah, I need 80 concrete machines and 30 encased concrete machines. Now, the encased concrete is then made in the next factory up, which is bigger. Because it's made in an assembler, he says, doubting himself. So if that was another walkway, and then this is where we had our first assembler. Now we need 2 ingredients, don't we, for them? So we might need to move it a bit further over. But if this is making encased industrial beams, I mean, it probably needs moving anyway because I put a dividing wall between it. But if this is making industrial beams, then 2 or 5. And this one, 2, 3, 5. And this one, and the next one will be there. I do not have the concrete. We are perilously close to the edge. So, that's 5, 10, 11. So it looks like 15 would fit in the same distance, just from eyeballing it. As in, 15 is going to end around the same sort of depth as that one over there. Because I need 30 of these, you see. So, if we then had, let's say, I think I need more space than this, but as a minimum, pathway there, and then the next machine is here. So it's poking out over the edge, so we need more concrete again, which we just don't have. Get rid of a lot of this, couldn't I? Now this is real remembering not to zoop yourself into oblivion. Right. Can I jump across to here? Whee! Can I get that as well? Nope, too far away. Nope, too far away. Okay. Get back on. I don't think I got a lot back from that. But guess I could get rid of that one as well. And we can maybe move this to here. Recover them. Okay, so that would be the pathway one. We would need these to be here. Here. Have the same, you know, layout as it were. But I think these need to be further over anyway. I mean, would they? So basically, there's going to be a conveyor hole No, too close. There, and then the output, you see. What did I do there? The output. Ah, come on. I don't know why it turns it around. Output goes straight down into this fake floor that I've just created. So into here, which is where all the mergers and splitters and stuff. And it comes in the other side. Here. And again, complex mergery, splittery madness. That's the wrong one, isn't it? Underneath. Well, not that complicated, but you get the point. But for these, you see, you've got to get 2 in. And while you can put them, I mean, you know, you can put the connectors here, you've got to have room underneath to do it all. As that thing goes. I love that it lets you do this, but so it makes the underneath bit a little tricky sometimes. So yeah, so there's that there. Let's say if we punch a hole here, you know, hooking these up in the space available be a little tricky. But it's quite a small thing, and most of it I'm going to directly feed straight into these machines. So actually there isn't going to be that much. I mean, you know, like organisation, because it's basically I need to merge all of those together, and then split it so that some goes this way, and some goes to this. Oh, that's a point. Ah, that's an error, isn't it? Because it's not 2 train stations, it's 3. Because I need to get steel beams in. Or it just becomes a concrete factory. Because I need to bring steel beams in. Huh. Hmm. Hmm. I mean, I could do something different, couldn't I? In the sense that I'm going to have to do something different if I want to have concrete and encased beams coming out of here. But this railway could go around the rock, so we can actually exit the railway over here. So the exit to the and it goes around the rock. That'd be quite cool, wouldn't it? And I could maybe, you know, make it look like it's being, you know, like it's got, you know, things holding it up with the rock, as in it's, you know, it's had concrete beam, steel beams, you know, shoved into the rock to keep it steady. That'd be pretty awesome. Would that give me enough room for a 3rd station? So I take this out. So sort of yes, but also sort of no, because if this goes here, there's no way it's gonna let me do, and it would look horrible anyway. If I was doing conveyor lift stuck on here. I mean, it'll let me do it, but... But that looks the height of NAF. So it's going to have to go a little bit further over. And then there's no room for the ones there. Okay. So, just how much room do I actually have here? Could I put... Oops. If I did this... Oh no. Because then this starts to clip through here, does it? Clip through there. Oh, I mean, we could make it look like it's attached there as well. So that's one option to fix that slight counting snafu. The other would be to squeeze this up a bit. I mean, how much room... So, if I got, you know, if this moved one over, basically. Because I think the truck station's going to have to be right up against the edge then. But it doesn't poke out. So it becomes there, basically. Depth-wise. And then if this is the wall... Is there enough trucking room, as it were? It's a bit tight, isn't it? If I... This was one further over. Would it sort of matter? I think it'd be okay from that point of view. Also, I mean, I thought I was going to support it from this anyway. So I think actually it should be moved one over anyway. Or two over, in fact, probably. Makes it look tricky with the Caterium. If I... Let's just get rid of those two. So if this was the edge of the factory here, and I wanted to put a miner in there, because they're all about the same size, I don't think level 2s are bigger or anything. Oh, maybe they are. Oh, they are. I didn't realise that. I don't know if 3s are... Oops. Bigger, even bigger still. But I can orient it, you know, so that it doesn't clip through the factory. In fact, it wouldn't clip through anyway. Okay, so basically I've got to move it all 2 tiles over. Because that then gives me a bit more room with trucks and belts and stuff. Because the bit I'm worried about, basically, with these is that, say, if I have, you know, something here, then a truck is going to have to squeeze through. You know, so it's right up against both the wall and this. I'm not confident in its pathfinding ability to do that. But if we move it 2 over, move everything 2 over, then the truck isn't, well, that truck station, I shouldn't have done that. Truck station isn't there, it's, you know, here. Won't let me do it, but the edge of it is now, well, I might have more room than that, but it could be here somewhere. Oh, it is going to let me do it, okay. This moves 2 over, or even just 1 over. 1 over might be better. There's then tons of room for the trucks. All of this moves 1 over. Because am I happy? But yeah, I think that's the solution. Bit of a pain though. Gonna have to rebuild it all. Cool. Okay. I think that's coming along okay. So it wasn't what I was intending to do. But then what I was intending to do would have just involved tons and tons of me deconstructing everything. Because I sort of realised when I got there. Now, what I'm intending to do with that other factory is repurpose it so that it makes so that it becomes plates, which it's already doing. So it's not necessary. Well, it is a massive repurposing because it doesn't have the hidden floors and stuff. So it does plates and reinforced plates. So I need to ship screws in for that one. But I'll just be shipping out iron plate and reinforced plate, I think. Because what I can do some... Well, I shouldn't really do that, should I? Am I not making iron plate at my other factory? I can't remember. Because we might just repurpose that other one for just reinforced plate. I don't think there's any easy way for me to check. I keep starting these big projects and sort of realising they're huge. So it would be nice to finish one of them. So I keep getting to a point in this game where it's like, oh wait, that's going to be an enormous amount of stuff to do. Which I don't fundamentally mind. It's just I am, oops, mindful that me placing mergers and splitters for hour upon hour is perhaps not the most interesting thing. Which am I going? This one. But finding time to do that out of stream is a bit tricky at the moment. Yeah, anyway, so that's basically it for today. I'll be back with Satisfactory on Monday. We'll pretty much pick up where we left off. I might have a bit of time, I doubt it, to do some of this, but certainly we'll head back to the factory now. And I'll definitely restock, grab a load of concrete basically before the next one. So we'll try and finish that because, I mean, there's almost certainly an announcement video gone live on YouTube from from Coffee Stain saying exactly when we're getting update 6. I anticipate either next week or the week after, but certainly I can't see it being applied. They're not going to push out the new build on a Friday, because if it's just a complete mess, somebody's going to have to work a lot of overtime fixing it. But and they seem a bit more like a decent set of human beings than that. But yeah, so it could be next week that we'll finally get Spire Coast done. At which point, I'll be able to turn on the... Well, I'll be able to see whether my nuclear power is broken. And if it's okay, we can turn that on. And it kind of solves the problem. Where the heck is my hover pack gone? I don't know where I've left it. Is it in here? No, it isn't, is it? Where have I left the hover pack? At that point, basically, I can potentially think about, redoing the coal and the plastic as well, because the problem at the moment I've got is this. Well, I actually need a gigantic amount of plastic production. It's like nuts. What is it? I need 131 refined. I'm going to have to start doing some overclocking or use alternate recipes. In fact, is there one? There's probably one ready to go. But basically this is... when this and this back up, it causes the fuel to run out. Because there's nowhere else for the for it to go. It doesn't... There's no overflow system. Well, there is, but there isn't. I need it to overflow into a sink, basically. Where can I just put this to try and get rid of it? But yeah, the amount of plastic is bonkers, and I think I'm going to have to investigate. What I was thinking, I thought I put I put a hard drive in. Cheap silica. Cast screw. Oh wow. That's way easier, isn't it? Because I do have a few where I've randomly picked them up. But as I understand it, it's like a random chance of what you get. And people have told me there are like super awesome ones for iron and copper. But I've not got them, and I say I don't know how many you have to get for your chances to be quite good at getting those recipes. And I can't be bothered to go and find all the hard drives. Anyway, I'm getting distracted again. So yeah, so that's it for today. Let's have a look and pop my schedule up. It's slightly different from normal. The Azerbaijan Grand Prix, for some reason, qualifying is at 3 o'clock. Don't know why. The race itself is at 12 o'clock, I think. It's bizarrely late. But in order to listen to that, rather than have it on, because I've tried listening to it while I stream and it's too difficult, I'm going to start the stream a bit later tomorrow. So I'll start at 4 o'clock and go till 7, or maybe a bit later, I don't know. But it'll be Crash Storio 2 on Saturday, and it'll be the normal progressing along. I did a little bit with hooking up the resources, but we'll be basically scaling up the resources still. Maybe we'll try and build the big belt factory, something like that, as a bit of extra thing to do. But yeah, we basically need to scale that up to the point where it can really sort of, thunder through science and also, so we can make. As I understand it, I need absolutely ridiculous amounts of power to win it, basically. Sunday, though, we will play Sweet Transit. So Sweet Transit is a game by a former Factorio dev. It's essentially the trains part of Factoria mixed with Anno Anno 1800 and the Anno series, which is a sort of a colony building, city building type game. And it is quite similar, I would say. It's sort of laying down houses for people and giving them, they then work at factories and sawmills and that sort of thing, and you move everything around by train. In fact, you're only allowed to move things around by train. You can't have like cars taking, or trucks taking things around. It's all trains. So I'll give that a go. We'll certainly go through the tutorial. I've already done the tutorial, but we might try the open world. But I'll probably only do that for maybe an hour, just to see what it's like really, and how it works as a streaming game. But then we'll switch back to Factorio and we'll do the blueprint series. So we'll continue with the blueprints. We're not far off the point where it needs testing, but there's a few more to do. And then I say back on Monday with Satisfactory. So yeah, so that's the schedule up there for this weekend. If you're watching any of the VODs and you wanted to pop in and say hi, according to that schedule, there is a converter on my channel if you wanted to use that to find out your local time. But the Twitch channel is Trismegistus. If you're watching any of the live ones, or you want to catch up with any of these, you randomly seen the video, you can find that all of the VODs for every stream I've done on my YouTube channel, which is Trismegistus as well, but it's alias to Triggles. If you wanted to follow me on Twitter, I post when I'm going live. Then you can find Trismegistus or Triggles as well on Twitter. Discord. I have a Discord. Wait a minute. Yeah, I have a Discord, and if basically the intention of that is to use it for multiplayer. I'm hoping eventually to set up some Factorio and maybe Satisfactory multiplayer servers, and get community playing. So if you wanted, or if you just wanted to play with me, if you wanted to do a multiplayer Factorio or something with me, just give me a shout on the Discord and join up there, and we can set something up and do it that way. So yeah, so that's it from me. If you've been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Satisfactory. Thanks for watching. Cheers.